What's going on, everybody? John Eric Pola here with My MMA News, and today's guest will be fighting Romero Cotton at Bellator 283 on July 22nd. I am pleased today to be joined by the current number 8 ranked middleweight contender in Bellator's middleweight division, Dalton Rosta, here today. Dalton, thanks for doing this, man. Really appreciate the time. Looking forward to another great conversation. I know we were able to talk before your last fight. Looking forward to doing it again before this one.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem at all. So let's start getting in everything here. Before we did, when we did our interview before your last fight, you were actually scheduled to fight Romero right then and there. That was like the third time you guys were booked, and it fell through yet again. And you said, you're like, you know what, I'm done with this. I don't want to do it. Well, now here we are here. It's booked for the fourth time. Hopefully the fourth time's the charm here. What kind of led to you accepting this fight and getting this now hopefully squared away for the fourth time now?
So, I didn't want to fight him just because I'll be in the middle of a fight camp, 6 weeks down, 5 weeks down, and 3 weeks out, he pulls out. So I spent 5, 6 weeks preparing for an orthodox wrestler. And but there was 3 times we were supposed to fight. First time he asked for it to be pushed back. We pushed it back. Second time, which was a month and a half later, he completely pulled out and they gave me a southpaw striker. This last time we were supposed to fight January 29th, he did the same thing, pulled out, and they gave me a southpaw striker again. So it's like I was done with it because I'm preparing for somebody for a whole fight camp for 5, 6 weeks, up to 8 weeks. You know what I mean? And then he pulls out 2, 3 weeks beforehand, and I get complete opposite style, southpaw striker compared to orthodox wrestler, what I was preparing for. So then you gotta, unprogram really everything that you were doing because everything starts to become second nature, and it becomes habit because you've been drilling everything so much and game planning, hitting pads a certain way, grappling a certain way, you know what I mean? And then you have to switch it all up 3 weeks before. So, the good thing is you're in shape, you're ready to fight anybody, but you got to switch the game plan up. And he pulled out 3 times. First time was September of 2020. Then we pushed it back October 29th. He pulled out. I got a different fighter in Ty Gorder. Then January 29th, this time, I wanted to fight in May. Then I wanted to fight in June, and Bellator kept pushing things back. And they're like, all right, we got Romero Cotton for August 12th. And I was like, that's what my manager was like, that's too late. Like I fought in January. Like that's almost 7 months in between fights, like 6 and 3 weeks. And I was like, that's too long. Like, I'm young. I need to take advantage of my youth and fight and get better and get the experience now. And so he went back and talked with them, talked to Mike Hogan. Mike Hogan was understanding. He was like, all right, we'll get him on the June 24th card, but it's not going to be Romero Cotton. We're like, we're fine with that. We don't want it to be Romero Cotton anyways. And so June 24th ended up not happening. And we were supposed to fight July 8th in Florida. And that venue and date got changed to July 22nd in Seattle or Tacoma. So whenever they got back to me with an opponent, they said it was Romero Cotton. So they said he wasn't going to be ready June 24th, and he said he wasn't going to be ready July 8th. But apparently he's ready July 22nd. So this is what we got, I guess.
So, given all of this history, everything that's happened, you even said right there where just trying to get this booked right here is a little bit difficult with him kind of having to push things back to July 22nd. Are you worried at all that he's not going to show up on July 22nd and there'll be another last minute opponent?
I hope not, man, because the Bellator did a good job of getting me a last minute replacement last time. But for somebody to step up to the plate we're 2 weeks out now. It's, slim to none. You have guys that will, and hopefully if it does happen, Bellator can find them, but I'm hoping that they don't. I'm ready for Romero Cotton. I'm preparing for Romero Cotton. So I want to fight Romero, and, if that doesn't happen, so be it. For sure they'll scrap the fight after that, but let's hope it doesn't come down to that. Let's hope July 22nd he steps in the cage against me.
So we will think positive, right? He is going to show up. You're finally going to get this fight on here with him. I know, like we said, booked so many times now. So obviously, fourth training camp for him right now, pretty much. How's your fourth camp for him going right now? Obviously, you're down at American Top Team. Great gym, great training partners down there. Just how's the camp overall?
Everything's been going great, man. the ideal preparation for this would be a good wrestler with zero striking, because that's what Romero Cotton is. I got to respect it at the end of the day, because it is MMA. It's 4-ounce gloves, and he could throw looping wild shots. But besides that, I mean, dude's green on his feet. He's a good wrestler. So ideally, we want a good wrestler with bad striking, but we don't have that down at ATT. Everybody's top level at ATT. We got good wrestlers with good striking. So I've been sparring with the wrestlers, rolling with the wrestlers, drilling with the wrestlers. Me, Johnny Eblin, Austin Vanderford, Josh Silvera, a couple of Dagestani and Russian guys, Magomed Umlatov, who just won on PFL recently, Magomed Karimov. Those are guys I've been training with. And then usual training partners like Sabah Hamasi, and some of the other guys in the gym. So I'm well prepared. I've had people shooting on me. I've been wrestling my entire life. If he wants to throw on wrestling shoes and wrestling on a wrestling mat, I'll beat him there too. And MMA wrestling is different, and my MMA wrestling is definitely far superior to his. So come July 22nd, I'm going to out wrestle him. I'm going to outstrike him, and I'm going to finish him.
Now, I wanted to ask, how much fun are you having when you're down there in training camp? Because it seems like every time that you post a photo on your Instagram of you getting a workout in down there, always a nice big smile on the face there. It seems like you're really enjoying obviously, we know that sport's very difficult to train for. There's a lot that goes into it, but it seems like you're enjoying this whole process every time that you're down there at ATT getting the work in.
Yeah, man, I love what I do. There's a lot of people in this world that, they work at a certain job because they have to, and they truly don't like what they're doing. But I mean, if I didn't want to do this, I wouldn't do it. I have other options. I have a degree. I've done a lot of networking. There's a lot of places I could be working if I wanted to do that. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, this is what I want to do. And, there's a lot of glory involved with it. And there's a lot of, what people see is what just happens on fight night. But there's a lot of hard work that goes into it. There's a lot of hits to the head. There's a lot of hard work. There's a lot of gritty wrestling, wear and tear on your body, back injuries, knee injuries, just, bumps and bruises along the way, not getting a lot of sleep. The list goes on. I can keep going. But all the stuff that the fans don't see is what makes this hard. And on fight night, everybody's like, all right, yeah, that would be a great job. You get paid a lump sum amount of money to go in there, fight, and then boom, you're done. You don't have to do anything else. That's not how it is. At the end of the day, we're training, and our money's made during training. On fight night, we just get our paycheck. You know what I mean? And things can go horribly wrong, or things can go horribly wrong during camp. You get injured and you not make it to the fight. And now with COVID, you can catch COVID and not make it to the fight. You know what I mean? Let's hope neither of those happen, knock on wood. But that being said, I just really love what I do. And like I said, if I didn't, I wouldn't be doing it, because it's hard. It really is hard. Everything that goes into this is very hard. And I love what I do. And I'm going to keep doing it, until I don't want to anymore.
Yeah, that's a great way to sum everything up there. And I was actually going to ask you along these lines too. So when I was in college, I was at Lock Haven University's state school up here in Pennsylvania. I'm sure you might have probably heard of it from growing up in Pennsylvania, but I was able to compete in the track and field team at Lock Haven for 2 years. And my freshman year of college, it was probably my most fun year ever. I really enjoyed it. I had great teammates, took everything in, competing at a high level. It was just everything was so great. And when you're having that fun, when going to practice every day is enjoyable, and when the results are all there and things are so enjoyable that way, it's so hard to describe to people that may not have ever competed in a sport or competed at a high level. When everything's going right, it's just such a great time to be alive. Do you feel that the same way, that you're enjoying going through this whole process? You have this nice undefeated record. You're in a great promotion that life just cannot be any better for you than it is right now, probably.
Yeah, no, it can be. I'm at the best gym in the world. I'm fighting for the second biggest promotion in the world. I'm finally getting paid well, and I'm doing what I want to do. I love fighting. So at the end of the day, I couldn't ask for anything better. You know what I mean? So I truly do enjoy this. I'm enjoying every day of it. Even the days where it's hard and you don't want to go to practice, and it's hard to get up and move in, and you feel like today's not the day you should be going to the gym. You still get up, you still go, and at the end of the day, you're happy you did. So.
And now I do want to now just get back in. We got a little off topic there. One more thing here with this matchup here with Romero Cotton. He's obviously coming into the fight ranked at number 7 in the world. You're ranked number 8. Obviously, when you look at the rankings, right, a lot of big names in front of the two of you. Do you think a win here kind of gets you into the spot now where you get the win, one of these big names is next? I know you're obviously just focused on getting the win here first, but if you do peek ahead a little bit, I'm sure you're going to want one of those big names, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. So before I was supposed to fight Romero Cotton, I was supposed to fight John Salter. So I mean, hopefully that's my next fight, either that or somebody that wants to fight at the end of the day and something that means something. If I can't get anybody ranked to fight me on a timeline that makes sense, I'll take a fight against anybody really, and then fight John Salter or vice versa. At the end of the day, like I said, I truly enjoy this, whether I'm fighting for a title or whether I'm fighting just a ranked guy or whether I'm not even fighting a ranked guy at all. I mean, at the end of the day, whenever I get to step in the cage, I'm happy as can be. So, one day we're going to get to the title. We don't know how soon, hopefully sooner than later. But, each fight is a step towards that.
And speaking of titles, I do want to actually get into little top MMA topics here at American Top Team. And I wanted to start actually with Johnny Eblen, who is the now title holder in your division there, a teammate of yours. You mentioned that you're working with him for this camp. There was the photo on your Instagram, too, of the two of you after a training session there. Just talk about him a little bit. I know you guys have been training partners for a long time. I'm sure you had to be stoked to see him get that win over Gegard Mousasi and claim that title.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we all know what we're all capable of here. You know what I mean? So obviously outsiders looking in, they're going to be like, oh yeah, Johnny doesn't have a chance. People thought the same thing for Austin. Austin's, bout didn't turn out the way he wanted it to, but, and I'm not just saying this just because we're teammates, but at American Top Team, our middleweight division and American Top Team, it's stacked, and we truly have the best 85 pounders in Bellator. Period. You know what I mean? And the rankings aren't working their way out like that right now. But sooner or later, you're going to see like 1, 2, and 3, or champ and 1 and 2. With us 3. And the great thing is we get to train with each other every single day and push each other to become better. And there might be a day where we have to fight each other. When it comes for a title. I mean, I expect Johnny to hold the title for a while, and that's my goal. So that's a bridge that we'll have to cross whenever we come to it. But as of right now, we're just going to keep pushing each other and keep getting better. We're friends. We're training partners. We train together and we push each other. And at the end of the day, us doing that is just going to make each other better. So nobody else is going to stand a chance.
And there is probably a very good likely chance that you guys are going to be on the top contenders there. So it's going to be interesting to see how that kind of plays out down there with the American Top Team. I know the gym's done it before where you guys kind of had to go off and split training sessions at different times and whatnot. But it's something that you guys have such high-level middleweights down there at American Top Team. But I do want to ask you about a few other people, too. We'll stick with Bellator. Cody Law, I've been interviewing Cody since he was 0-0 and he just signed with Bellator, and I know he just suffered his first loss. I haven't gotten a chance to reach out to him yet. I was just wondering if you've had any words with him since his defeat, or maybe even any advice for him now that he's coming off his first loss.
No, I mean, Cody's been through this before, with wrestling. We all have. So this is nothing new to him. We talked about that a little bit, but that's pretty much all we talked about. He'll come back better. He'll shake it off. He'll learn from his mistakes. And, I mean, you'll see a better Cody than you ever have before this next fight. That one loss doesn't define him. So at the end of the day, that's, if anything, it's going to make him better.
And I would say a lot of people have him pegged as a future featherweight champion one day, and I'm sure he's going to learn from this, like you were saying, and go on a pretty big run here. I think everyone is expecting that. I do want to ask you about another guy who is not down at the gym in Florida. I know he's done work. He's more associated with the gym up here in Pennsylvania with the American Top Team, but it's been a pretty big story. I guess Bo Nichols looking like he's going to get a shot at Dana White's Contender Series. I don't know if you guys have ever worked out or not. It was like obviously that American Top Team connection there. I just wonder what your thoughts were on that.
No, I mean, we've wrestled before. but that's about it. We haven't sparred. We wrestled and rolled jiu-jitsu a little bit, but that's whenever I was up in PA. You know, he comes down here for spurts. He usually has his his training partners picked out depending on who he's fighting, you know, what style guy he's fighting. So, yeah, I mean, Bo Nickel's one of the best wrestlers in the country, in the world, really. And I mean, he's making the transition to MMA. So, I mean, history repeats itself. He's going to do well. You know, he's going to do great. And I wasn't aware of the Dana White Contender Series shot. That's this summer.
Yeah, I believe so. It just came out earlier this week, maybe about 2 or 3 days ago, that it said at some point in the summer that he should be getting a shot on the Contender Series. I don't think they announced an exact date yet on it, but he is slated to get a shot on it. Now, I'm not sure what's going to tell. I know in the past with Greg Hardy, they've done where if they win, they kind of give him like a developmental type contract. I don't know because he's only 1-0 if they're going to go that route or not if he's to win on it, but it seems like he is slated for the Contender Series shot. So, I mean, best of luck to him, like you were saying there. I mean, he's one of the best wrestlers in the world. I'm sure he's going to be one of the top MMA guys too at some point there. But one other topic from American Top Team that I want to ask you about, it's probably the biggest storyline of them all. Joanna Jędrzejczyk retiring. Obviously, great career, phenomenal career, future UFC Hall of Famer. I'm sure you've gotten to work with her quite a bit down there at American Top Team, seeing her around the gym there. Just want to get your thoughts too on that retirement.
Yeah, I mean, it's sad to see at the same time, but, she had a great career and she should be celebrating it. She went out on a string of losses, but every single fight, even the ones she lost, were all barn burners. You know what I mean? They were all toe-to-toe. They were all close fights. Some of them you could have, ruled in her favor, besides whenever she got finished in the couple fights that she did. But, she's a great fighter. She's one of the best female fighters to ever live. She's one of the most exciting female fighters to ever live. And, she was one of my favorite, she was my favorite female fighter, period. She was, and she's one of the greatest. So just to get to know her and be around her and talk to her all the time and everything's a blessing. But I wish her the best with future career opportunities or future endeavors.
All right, now just to close things up here, I had to ask this one. Now, I'm a big pro wrestling fan. I was really into it when I was younger. I just started maybe about a year or so ago, but maybe about 2 years, I would say now, getting back in the WWE. I do work a lot at my other job, so I really want to catch Monday Night Raw for sure. I try to keep my tabs on AEW. I know you guys on an American Top Team have a lot to do with that promotion. You've done stuff, right? Have you been a part of the AEW shows or no?
Yes, 4 or 5 times or so.
So how exactly, do you guys get into that? Does Dan Lambert just kind of pick you guys out and say, hey, come with me, we're going to go on and do this here?
I honestly couldn't tell you. I was a huge wrestling fan, and me and Dan Lambert talked about it, and one day he just invited me along, decided to bring me with him. So it was a great experience, and I'm looking forward to doing it again. I see your WWE belt in the background there.
Yep, there it is.
Yeah, my girlfriend, Gina DeLucia, actually just signed with NXT.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, she's up in Orlando. She just moved out. She's up at Orlando, training at the WWE Performance Center. And she's in training right now, and then soon she'll be on NXT and then WWE. So
do you ever help her out with any of the moves there? Does she show you how, does he get thrown through a table and all that type of stuff?
Yeah, she shows me some of the moves and stuff she's learning, but she doesn't ever do them on me. You know what I mean? She's put me in headlocks and stuff, but that's about it.
So do you ever want to get into any of that type of stuff? Obviously, I know the fight career is coming first, but at some point, maybe later in life, would you like to get involved with all that?
I'd love to. Honestly, I'd love to. I love that stuff.
Yeah, man, it'd be great to see you do it too. It'd be a lot of fun. I'm a huge pro wrestling fan, so I love it too. I think I know they're not technically the same because obviously MMA is real, WWE's choreographed, but still the whole combat thing I think kind of goes hand in hand. So it'd be fun to see you do it there. So anyway, man, great conversation. Really appreciate all the time here today. Last thing before you roll out: social media management, sponsors. Anybody got to give a shout out to? Floor is yours. Take it away.
Yeah, sponsors: Arias Agencies, Armina Stone, David Allen. My dog is ringing the bell. She has to go outside. But Scooter King, and then my my management, Sucker Punch are the best. And honestly, I've been with them for less than a year. And when I was with them for, 2 weeks, I noticed a difference immediately. Not bashing my prior management or anything, but my manager now, Brian Butler, is the best. And just if you want to follow me on social media, you follow my Instagram or my Twitter at Dalton Rosta.
All right, Dalton, thanks so much for all the time here today, man. Really appreciate it. Best of luck with this upcoming fight, and also best of luck with your girlfriend, too, getting the NXT. That's awesome, man. That's really cool stuff there. And again, great conversation today. Really appreciate it. Appreciate all you guys watching today's interview. If you like the interview, please go to the bottom, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to this YouTube channel if you haven't done so already, and keep going to MyMMANews.com for all of our great work that comes out literally every single day of the week. So just make sure you guys have your tabs on our page as well. We'll see you later, everybody.